Okay, welcome to Les Matières, that's subjects, part one. Now, what we're really going to do today is we're going to look at a particular grammar point and talk about how you might use it when talking about the subjects you like or don't like. And then a video or two down the line, we'll look at finalizing an actual answer on your favorite and disliked subjects. So the grammar point we're going to look at is object pronouns. So what's an object? Well, if we take the sentence there, I hate biology. So I is the subject, hate is the verb, and then biology, whatever or whoever is on the receiving end of our hatred is the object. So if you replace it with a pronoun, then we're saying I hate it. It then is the object pronoun. Not too difficult. So we take the corresponding French sentence. We have Je déteste la biologie, not so different from the English, where the difference arises then in French when you come to say I hate it, it's je la déteste, so like I, it, hate. So the word order is backwards. So where you're making a sentence in French like I hate it, or she helps me, or we will talk to them, or they found us, etc. The it, me, them, us, it's going in front of the verb instead of after. So let's just have a look at the full list of object pronouns here. So as you see, we've actually two sets, direct object pronouns and indirect. So we'll explain the difference in just a second. So just to run down through them. So me is me, as you might expect, as in he helps me. Te is you, as in they will talk to you. Le or la, then him or her, or it, if you're referring to a thing, as in we found it. Nous is us. Vous then is you plural, or you singular if you're being formal. And les then is them, as in I met them. And on the other side, well, the indirect object pronouns, the me and te are the same. The difference then is lui for him or her, and we have leur for them. But the question then is, what's the difference between a direct object and an indirect? So let's take this sentence here. So say you've said, my favorite subject is English. I fortunately have a very good teacher. So if you want to say, je parle à mon prof d'anglais quand j'ai un problème. So I speak to my English teacher, literally teacher of English, when I have a problem. Now, if instead of saying that, you want to say, I speak to him, it's a him in this case. Well, the key point here is where you have an a between the verb and the object, we say it's an indirect object. So if we want to say, let's say I talk to him, or even if it was her, it won't make a difference actually, when I have a problem. So we're going to have to use it, because mon prof d'anglais is an indirect object, we're going to come up and use one of these. And as you may recall, it's lui. So if you want to have a crack at the new sentence, want to pause for a moment and think, you'll have to be quick because here it is. Je lui parle quand j'ai un problème. So again, you say my favorite subject is English. My teacher is wonderful. Je lui parle. I talk to him or her quand j'ai un problem. So we take another example. Here I'm saying quand je demande à ma prof de chimie de m'aider, elle est toujours très généreuse. So we're saying when I ask my chemistry teacher to help me, elle est toujours, she is always, très généreuse, very generous. So if instead of saying that, if I've already established my favorite subject is chemistry and that I have a good teacher, so if I just want to say when I ask her or him, her in this case, to help me, she is always very generous. So again, if people want to pause for a moment and think about that, the answer is, again, if you ask someone for something or to do something, you demande à somebody to do whatever. So again, this is an indirect object. So if we're replacing with a pronoun, when I ask her, again, we have to come up and use one of these indirect object pronouns, specifically, again, lui, can be him or her. So our new sentence here then, quand je lui demande de m'aider, and notice there the word order back to front, help me, elle est toujours très généreuse. Okay, now let's take a slightly different sentence. Say I'm saying je trouve le gaélique incompréhensible or passionnant, depending on your viewpoint. So I find Irish incomprehensible or fascinating. Now, if instead of saying that, you want to say I find it, so we've already established Irish is your disliked subject, and we want to say I find it incomprehensible or it's your favorite subject and you find it fascinating. So again, if you want to think about it for a minute, well, just to give you a clue, maybe for starters, you notice here there's no a here with trouver. You don't trouve a something. So this is what's called a direct object. So if we're replacing with a pronoun, I find it fascinating or incomprehensible. We're over this side. And, well, it's le. So languages generally are masculine, so it'd be le. So the new sentence, again, here we are. Je le trouve incompréhensible or passionnant. Similarly, just one more example here. J'aime la physique. So again, if I like physics, now we've already established you like physics. It's your favorite physics. It's your favorite subject. If you want to say I like it a lot. So again, you can have a think about this for a moment if you like. Again, the situation is there's no a between m and this object, physique. So it's a direct object. The sciences then tend to be feminine. So this time, like it, we're going to use la. Actually, won't make too much difference in this case because I like it a lot. It'll be L apostrophe with the two vowels coming together. Je l'aime beaucoup. Okay, so that's your introduction to direct and indirect object pronouns and how we might use them in our prepared answers about subjects. So just to remind you, so my email, if you're interested in one-to-one lesson, it's keltony@gmail.com, and we'll carry on with this point in the next video.